Welcome to the Fort Myers Beach Good Neighbor Podcast. No shade, just sunshine, drama-free, positive vibes only. Each episode we bring you closer to the neighbors, local legends, and businesses that support the local community and make Fort Myers Beach the slice of paradise we all love. We want to send out some island love to State Insurance USA, Snug Harbor, Nervous Nellies, and the Alex King Group. They're the good neighbors and businesses that allow us to share the soul of our community with every listener. Pull up a beach chair, grab a drink, and let's meet the people who make this island feel like home. Here's your host, Cabo Jim Schaller.
Welcome, Fort Myers Beach good neighbors, to another episode. Today we have singer-songwriter Stephen Clark.
And we're actually physically neighbors. Turns out we live in the same neighborhood.
Right. Literally like a block away.
I know, it's amazing. So there we go.
That is crazy.
Since we're neighbors, let's be friends.
Interesting story about neighbors, though. You know that house over there?
That was the Rockstar house.
Brian Howe, right?
Yeah, Brian Howe. Because I know the guy who lives there now that bought it. And it was a vacation rental before he bought it. And so he went in there and had to do a lot of cleanup. And
Really?
Brian Howe left his mark. Apparently he had a lot of birds and dogs.
Oh, really? Oh.
He had exotic birds and dogs. So the house was, So, but I guess Brian's widow still lives on the island here someplace nearby.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Okay.
So she'll stop by and she's become friends with them and stuff like that. So
Very nice.
and he was with, what was his, he was with
Bed Company.
Bed Company, yeah.
Yep.
Right now, so.
Yeah, I remember. I moved here in the 90s originally, so I remember Bad Company was big around the area and I was playing.
Yeah,
so.
and it was. So yeah, that's this neighborhood right here.
And we love it. That's why we're at the beach. So originally from the Mitten, right?
Well, that's where I moved from. Here was from Michigan. I moved to Michigan in 2002.
Okay.
For work, and then before that, I'd lived all over the country. My dad was Air Force.
Okay.
So I was a military brat. I grew up in, going to 5 or 6 different schools, living in 8 or 9 different cities.
Yep.
Then when I got out of school, actually they moved on and I stayed and finished college in Colorado. Then I started moving in my career as a journalist. So I moved to another 5 or 6 states. So
you got to see a lot.
I've seen a lot of the world here, and I've lived literally in every corner of the United States and the middle. I mean, dead middle. I lived in Wichita, Kansas, and you can't get any more middle than that.
That's right in the middle.
Yeah.
Wow. But what brought you to Florida?
It's probably the sunshine.
Right.
I tell a story when I'm singing. I wrote a song called "Long Time No See," and the "No See" is SEA, and it's just about being in Detroit, and it's cold and wet and messy, it was a true story. Right. This was sometime around COVID.
And gloomy,
cold, wet, miserable. And I just had this dream of coming someplace with sunshine and palm trees and the ocean and a boat. And this turned out to be that place.
Yep.
And so after I wrote the song, I found myself kind of in a semi-depression. And my wife was busy with the business and COVID was raging and it was hard to get anything done. And she said, well, why don't you just go down? We had some friends in Bonita Springs. Just go down. They've been keeping invited us. Why don't you go down there and spend a couple days a week with them?
Yep.
Just to get your head straight. And so I did. And I came down here and I looked for a house and I found this one that we're sitting in right now.
Like, that's it.
I called her up literally that day and I said, honey, this is going to move fast. You got to get here. Can you get on a plane tomorrow morning? Sunday morning, she got on a plane, got here. We picked her up in the airport, actually put her on a boat in Bonita, to my friend's boat. We drove her, in the canal on the boat, and 2 dolphins started doing this as we came in the canal. She looked at me and says, this isn't fair.
Sold, right?
We sold. That was it. So
hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah, we sold everything in Michigan and moved here, and that I haven't regretted it. And we had some tough times, obviously, with the hurricane, and we've been slogging through that like everybody else. But God, I tell you, it's
coming
still paradise.
Back, right?
Still paradise.
I mean, we're a block away from the beach. So
and I used to be able to see it. You can't see this now. There's a house being built right there. There was one just finished, the White House over there. But with those houses were gone, I could have a really nice clear view of the Gulf.
I say though, I travel the island quite a bit during the day, and the nice thing is, the one perk of the hurricane was driving up and down the Sierra Boulevard and being able to see the water.
You can see it all, yeah. And now people are complaining because they're going to build stuff back, and we don't want to block the view. And I said, well, unfortunately, it was blocked before. It's going to be blocked again. So
exactly. Got nice little access to the canal here as well.
And that was when I came looking for a house. We had 3 things we needed. 3 absolute. The list was only 3 long. And I told the realtor that I ended up calling. I said, 3 things. Don't even show me a house, but then have all of these 3 things. One, we needed an elevator because we have a granddaughter in a wheelchair.
Yep.
So we needed to be able to get her into the house and around the house.
Makes
It has
sense.
nothing to do with the fact I'm getting old and someday I may need an elevator, but for her, we needed an elevator.
Yep.
Number two, my wife loves the beach. So we had to be within walking / bicycling range to the beach. We didn't want to have to get in the car and try to find parking and all that kind of stuff. So, and number three is I had to be able to walk out my door and get on my boat. That was I said I needed that. I grew up watching Flipper. Remember Flipper?
Yeah, I remember that.
I fell in love with this idea of walking out your back door and getting in a boat and having a dolphin as a pet.
See?
I don't have the dolphin pet yet, but I'm working on it.
I think that was filmed down here in Florida, wasn't
There's
it?
someplace, I think it was in the Keys, someplace in the Keys or on the probably on the Miami side.
Exactly.
But yeah.
Interesting.
So that was it. This house had all three, so here we are.
There you go, the trifecta.
Yep.
So let's back up your story a little bit.
Okay.
You aren't always just a singer-songwriter, right?
No, well, let's see. I've always been a musician. So I actually went to college as a music major, but I played woodwinds. I played saxophone in jazz bands. I played clarinet in classical bands.
Where'd you go to school?
Northern Colorado, University of Northern Colorado, which is a great music school.
Yeah.
I could not have gotten into school with my grades from high school. I was not a great high school student. I could not have gotten into school without the fact that I was a good musician. So they got me into music school, and with one of those provisos that I needed to keep my grades up.
Yeah.
Somehow I went from being one of the worst high school students to a 4.0 college student.
Because you were doing what you love.
Well, I had relevance. I think I finally found some relevance. And said, I got to have good grades in order to keep doing this.
Okay, I could do that.
So I did that for a while, and then I kind of discovered journalism and radio and television kind of by accident while I was in college, and shifted over to doing that and just fell in love with it. Just fell in love with that. And I've always considered music and journalism very closely related because as a songwriter, I joke, and they're writing a song and writing a news story are identical, except for with the song it has to be true.
Good point.
There you go. So anyway, so I've been writing songs for years and years and years and years, and then I did that all through my journalism career in television. I would go to Nashville and I would hang out and I'd write songs, and then we finally bought a place in Nashville, so we have a place in Nashville. Okay. So that's still very much the center of my universe is the Nashville songwriting scene. But I had never ever played a cover band gig bar scene until I moved here. Really? So I'd never done one. My first one was in Bonita Springs at the Island House. And there's a manatee on our canal right there. Okay. I've been waiting for 3 days. I had some guests here. I was going to show manatees.
They know when to come out.
I know. The guests were. So anyway, that was so the whole bar scene cover thing that I'm doing now here on the beach. I'd never done until right before the hurricane. Really? And then right after the hurricane, I kind of really got involved in the local island music scene here by just trying to help get it going again. And so once that happened, then suddenly there was plenty of music and plenty of jobs for me and others. And I overdid it. 2 or 3 years ago, I started playing. I just like, well, if I can play once, I can play 8 times a week. Why not? Yeah. And burn out there. Oh no, I burned myself out. But I dialed it back last year a little, and I even dialed it back a little bit this more year and this year. But I'd never done a whole bar scene, and to me, it's a wonderful experience to be able to entertain a crowd. And I guess I harken back to my days as a television news anchor, where it's exactly the same, except for now I can see everybody. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not one way, but exactly. I used to just be looking at a camera like this and just have to imagine there are people back there. They got not naked people, right? Yeah, that was the old joke. It says that's when you're public speaking, just imagine everybody in the audience are not wearing clothes, right? And I think maybe I did that in television a few times. Interesting, but I get the pleasure of. I work at the Roxy down at Times Square there, so I get the pleasure of hearing you at Loyola. Well, I feel sorry for people who have to listen to me all the time, because if you're just here on vacation and you see me once or twice, everything I do is fresh, new, and amazing. When you're here at the 18th time, I'm starting to think for people like you who have to listen to me over and over and over again and hear the same stories over and over again, I feel sorry for that. So I think I'm getting there where I could probably tell somebody. That's what I'm saying. And I feel bad about that. And I put them on Facebook. Right. I do a lot of my shows on Facebook, and I almost feel bad for them, because I'm going, okay, you guys, I know you've heard this story before, but the people sitting here have not. Exactly. Because they're new. They're tourists. They come to town, they look me up, and they come to, or they just run across me at the bar or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I love the setting at Loyola we're talking about on the beach down here. one of the bars that went away in the hurricane, and Tom has done a phenomenal job rebuilding something temporary while he waits for the whole process to move at its snail glacial pace to the point where he can get a building. Oh God! Don't even get me started on that. It's been so frustrating.
Yep.
But he's got a great place going on.
Oh yeah,
I love playing it because you're right there on the beach. You know, there it is. The Gulf is right there to
people
one
walking
side.
by all the time.
As you hear what I do, I play as much to the people who are not sitting in the bar.
Exactly. Yeah.
As I do to the people
Trying to draw them in.
Just trying to entertain them and saying, come on in. Come on in, have a seat. We'll have a good time.
That's what it's all about. I worked with a band in Orlando for a number of years, and same thing. I would go in and hear the same thing over and over. If I have to hear that song in the radio one more time, I'm done with it, kind of scenario. But then you got to remember the crowd.
The crowd is new.
They want to hear those songs. They don't hear it every day.
I used to play one gig in Michigan. It's all originals because that's all I used to do is I'd play originals. I had a little band and we got together and I do a lot of benefits. But this one was it's a benefit, half marathon or something like that.
Yep.
And one of the guys in the band was connected with it. So I said, yeah, we'll do that. And so weirdest gig ever because it's a marathon, and they're running by you. So they'd set us up at this one spot and there'd be nobody there, like 0 people.
Yep.
And we just kind of sit around just waiting. All of a sudden you see the first runner come over the hill, start coming down the hill. So you guys ready? Yeah, okay. Let's start playing. Then we'll start playing and the runner comes by and it's like, run. And then they're all gone.
That's it.
We're done. Our gig is
that's it. All right.
But we could sit there and play the same song 10 times if we wanted to because nobody at the front of the line heard it.
Right?
So, you can sit there. So we're just do one song today. We're just going to do it over and over again.
I love it. So we've all had, we had a big storm here, but we've all been through challenges through our lifetime.
Right.
Is there something that you can look back at and that maybe has helped define who you are today, or you can look back and you know what, I made it through that.
I don't know if it was like one issue that was like negative so much as just growing up in an Air Force family.
Yep.
Because in those days, especially, they moved Air Force families a lot more frequently than they do now. So back in those days, every 2 years, you packed up your life and put it in a cardboard box, threw it in the back of a trailer, and you moved to a whole new town, whole new group of people, a whole new set of whatever issues. And then you did it again 2 years later.
Yeah.
And so for me, I didn't, my sisters never really liked it. They saw it as a negative. I saw it as a positive. To me, it was like, wow, I get to go to a new place, see new things, meet new people. For me, that was an exciting thing. But I think it probably, as much as anything else in my life, shaped me.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
The fact that I feel like no matter where I go, I can figure out how to fit in.
And that's the important part. Because there's so many people that grow up, live, and stay in this little circle, and they don't know anything outside of it.
And I found out, one thing, I love Michigan. We spent 20 years in Michigan. Mm-hmm. We raised our kids in Michigan. Great state, great, phenomenally nice, beautiful people. But the thing I learned about it is people in Michigan, by and large, never leave Michigan.
Right.
Except to come to here.
Yep.
They will come here, but then the thing they will do is they will come here every year, same week, stay at the same place, hang with the same group of people, and then they go back to Michigan, hang with the same group of people in the same place, doing the same thing. So they have a very kind of insular, and I think there's a beauty to that. There's a comfort to that. Yep. My sisters would have loved that. I know because I have a daughter that's kind of like that. She feels very comfortable in that setting.
Yep.
I have another daughter who lives in Denmark who clearly does not. She was much more likely to want to travel the world and see things.
And that's great too, right?
Which is great, yeah. So, but for me, it shaped me, I think, in that respect, that it allowed me to go to a new place, quickly find how to fit in, find what it is that I liked about that place, grab onto that and make it home. And
it's not easy. I grew up, my dad was in radio, so we bounced around a lot. We went to different stations in different cities all the time. And,
I lived that life too.
I was lucky enough to have a twin brother.
Oh yeah.
So I had a best friend kind of going there, but every place we went to, every place we moved, I'm like, oh, those are the twins. Those are the twins. It's like, So, but again, making new friends, learning new areas, it's not easy, but I think it's shaped, like you said, it shaped me for the future.
I think that you can go one of two ways. You can either grab onto it and adopt it and roll with it, or you can fight it and resent it and And it may shape you in a whole nother way. It may shape you in a way that, it's like both of my sisters. As soon as they left the family to go out on their own, they went to one place and they've never left. Either one of them.
Wow.
So 50 years, 60 years from the day that they stopped moving with the family, they stopped moving. With me, I just kept right on moving.
Right, exactly.
Kept right on going.
I did the same thing. I got out of college and I was like, you know what? Wisconsin, Illinois is not for me anymore. I'm not shoveling snow. Let's get out there.
Someplace else. Let's go someplace. Let's say someplace like here.
Yes.
Palm trees.
Right?
You've got dolphins. I got manatees in my canal.
You get to see that every day. It's a wonderful thing.
I tell people, I said, in Michigan, I had raccoons and squirrels in my backyard. Now I got dolphins and manatees.
Little different, right? And you get sunshine here. It's not gray and gloomy. So
exactly.
We love that. So what is your vision for the future for yourself? I mean, you're doing some singing-songwriting. You've got some great original music. I get to hear a lot of that.
Okay. Well, so here's the deal. Here's the deal. I mean, at my age, I don't have to work. I'm retired from television. I've got a bank account and I'm comfortable. As I say, I'm comfortable. I'm fine. I don't have to play gigs. I do because I
love it.
I love playing and I love creating music. And when you create music, it's just by nature, you need to share it with somebody.
Yep.
So playing the bars gives me a really good opportunity to do that. Now, having said that, I am not a huge fan of playing cover songs because I think, why should I go up and screw up a really good song?
Right.
Which is what I do every day. I go out and I screw up really good songs. But what I do, I think probably more, and maybe you can tell me, because you probably heard a lot more artists than I do. There's probably nobody on this island who plays more originals than I do.
No, I agree.
Yeah, because I'm rare you'll find any originals on the island, and there's a reason for that. A lot of very talented songwriters write original songs, but they're not really tailored to people on vacation from Wisconsin.
Yep.
My songs, every one of them, is all about the lifestyle of what we're living down here.
100%. I love it. I'm getting used to those songs now. I'm like, when am I going to hear that on radio?
Yeah, exactly. I wish that would be my beautiful future, is if I could somehow get some of those songs on radio. Trust me, there's the music industry is not looking for a guy my age to be their next big thing.
But they're good songs. I mean, when you're down here on the beach, having a good time, they're perfect. It's fit the atmosphere.
It's exactly. I mean, I do a song called "Drinking Our Kids' Inheritance." It's one of my most popular songs. It's exactly what it sounds like. Here we are, drinking our kids' inheritance.
Exactly.
I mean, in larger picture, spending it, but living life, you know, on our terms, and what we've earned, we are experiencing and enjoying. And our kids, we love our kids. We want to make sure their kids are taken care of, but we also want to make sure we're taken care of. My dad passed, and he was so big on, we got to save money for the family. I said, Dad, just go out and enjoy it. You worked really hard.
Right? Exactly.
Go enjoy it. So that's kind of what that song's about. I do another song, which is my most controversially loved song. It's called "My Damn Dog Won't Die." And the song is, I mean, people think it's a horrible sound.
Explain it all the time.
Well, what it is, no, you're not hoping your dog dies. What you're saying, you have a dog who's been with you for 18 or 19 years. You never expected them to live that long.
Yep.
And now you can't travel because you have the dog, and an older dog needs more attention. So and I run across so many people who say, "Oh yeah, my husband couldn't come out on this trip here because our dog." And I said, "Oh, the damn dog won't die." It's a horrible thing, but everybody has had that thought, and so in a guilty kind of way, you see people going, exactly. So anyway, those are the kinds of songs I do, and then also just songs about how Buffett is that. I do a song called "How Buffett Is That." Just those cool things you do in a place, especially like this. I drive to work in my boat. How Buffett is that?
I love it.
So that's kind of, and I invite people to say, think of those moments in your life you do something that can only be described as how Buffett is that. I mean, here's the guy that wrote a song about a freaking margarita, and he's a billionaire.
He created the lifestyle.
He created a lifestyle from one song about a margarita, and that's what my purpose in songwriting is, to say, how do I tap into that? That mindset, where we all here are. How do I tap into that and find that little nugget that everybody goes, "Oh yeah, that's it."
See, I think I've embraced some of that too, because my three favorite artists, Sammy Hagar, Jimmy Buffett, and Kenny Chesney.
There you are.
What do they all talk about?
Exactly.
And having fun, right?
And that's why these are the guys I play when I do cover songs. Also, I don't do, Bryan Adams. I do Kenny Chesney. I do Zach Brown. I do Eagles. I mean, the Eagles were the closest thing to Buffett.
Exactly.
Back in those days.
Any yacht rock?
Yacht rock. I was talking to, I had a friend in town from Nashville who just left. Phenomenally great piano player. He's a producer, owns one of the last original recording studios in Nashville. And he was here with me, and he says, "Yeah, you need to do more yacht rock." And I just laughed. I said, "The problem with yacht rock, and people don't understand this, it's actually closer to jazz music than it is to rock or island.
Yeah,
it's very complicated chords. And I'm not that good of a guitar player, So I'm sitting there going, no, I'd rather play 3 chords to 100 people than 100 chords for 3 people. There you go.
Yep. Why make it more difficult when you're not?
That's what I'm saying. Listen, I'm trying to take it easy out here.
I love it. So, how often do you get out on the boat now?
I try to get out a lot. So we had a great boat day yesterday, and let's see, I have these friends from Nashville in town. So we got on the boat about 11 in the morning, went over to New Pass. And for people who know the area, that's what they call Dog Beach is on the one side. New Pass is beautiful area. Oh, the sand and the water beautiful. So we just went and just kind of hung out. Always meet people. So I met a whole boatload of ladies, and I asked them where their husbands were buried, and they said, sand traps on the golf course. I met a guy who was walking down the beach with a Tiger's hat just like mine on. And we ended up talking about Michigan. It turns out he owns an AC business in Michigan that I knew. And it's just the meeting the people.
That is,
it is so awesome. So we did that. Then we got on the boat, and it was beautiful down the Gulf. So we took the Gulf up and around the tip and came in and docked at Snug Harbor.
Yeah, nice place.
Wonderful lunch. And Rizzo is the head chef. I don't know if you know Rizzo.
Oh, I know. He does a phenomenal job with the fish.
Man, he's a genius with seafood. And I happened to run into him as I was going to the bathroom, and I said, "Hey, Rizzo." And he goes, "What?" I said, "What do you recommend today?" And he says, "I just got red snapper off a boat this morning." And I went and had the best ever fish sandwich of any description ever. It was a black and red fish. Fresh off the boat. It was the best fish sandwich that I've ever had.
And that's the thing they do down there. They get that fresh fish in, and he does a phenomenal job and picks it up. I always say, go in and ask for what just came up the boat.
You said, what's off the boat? That was red snapper yesterday. It was a great choice. And grouper's another great thing down here, obviously, is when you do the grouper stuff. So
I had some barracuda not too long ago.
Oh, yeah. That's good. Yeah, and that's the thing. If you ask the chef what's new, and they'll tell you, and it'll be awesome. But so we did that, and then we kind of came back. The back wing came in kind of slow and stopped and watched some dolphins cavort, and
that's what they do.
They do. They just cavort, and we're just watching cavorting dolphins for a while, and then we pulled in here, and they had to make it to the airport, and I'm right here. I got my pool, and I'm ready to finish my day.
Enjoy the Saturday, right?
Yeah. So.
Well, it is your day off, so I don't want to take up too much of your time.
I have no problem with that. That's because it's my day off. I don't have to work. This is good.
There you go, right? Talk. Nice and relaxing. I love it. I appreciate it. But how would our listeners go about finding you if they wanted to come and see you live, or maybe pick up one of your CDs?
Yeah, I do have CD, although I got to tell you that now when I sell my CDs, I don't sell them for the music. I sell them for the coasters.
Oh, right.
So these CDs make great coasters because people don't have CD players anymore.
Well, don't they make like a little, you hang from the mirror in your car too?
Yeah, exactly. It's a little reflective. I say basic great Christmas ornaments too. They're very shiny. But you can't sell CDs anymore. I know I've produced 2 CDs in my life. The first one I sold out within 6 months. Second one, about 5 years later, I still have half of them.
Why are they?
You can't sell them.
Yeah.
Because people say, "Oh, I'd like to buy one, but I don't have one of those machines anymore." They don't make CD player. Everything's on little sticks.
Right.
And the problem with my demographic, which is not teenage girls.
Yep.
My demographic is women, specifically females my age. They are not really well versed in the intricacies of downloading music from the internet and putting it on their phones and Bluetoothing it to their speakers. This is not a strength of people my age, much less the women. No offense. No offense. It's just, it's just the way it is. We grew up in a different world where we took a physical thing, stuck it in a physical machine, and you hit on and you heard it. Nowadays, it involves all this stuff, you got to do. So I can sell you a CD if you want. I got some CDs left. I can sell it to you. It's just easier to find me on all those, Apple, Amazon, streaming, Spotify, all those places. Stephen Clark with a PH. Stephen Clark.
Okay. Got a YouTube channel?
I do have a YouTube channel, and don't ask me what the address is. It's Stephen Clark, and there are a number of us out there that are oddly enough musicians.
Really?
But I'm the one that looks like this. And then Facebook is where I mainly live. Because that, again, is where the demographic that I am and that follows me. I've got a very, very large demographic of followers. on Facebook. And that's Stephen Clark, again with the PH, Stephen Clark, singer/songwriter.
Yep.
There are many imitators out there, and they will.
There's only one.
There's only one original. There'll be people all the time trying to, I get people trying to copy me, and they put my pictures on the page. And the key is when you look at how many followers they have. If they've got 2 followers, it's not me.
Yeah, exactly.
If it's got 80,000 followers and the blue check mark, that's
probably you.
But I will post on that page everywhere. Like I just posted today where I am this week. I've got a busy week this week. And it'll always post where I'm going to be. Yep. And then if I have new songs, I'll usually put snippets on, just to try them out and stuff like that. So that's kind of where I live, is on Facebook.
Hey, other than living right here?
Other than here.
That's where we love to live, and that's why we're here. Hey, it's been a pleasure getting to know you.
You also.
Thank you for being really a good neighbor, because you are a neighbor.
We are. I mean, literally, I think I can see your house from over here.
Exactly.
But it's funny because I've seen you forever over in Times Square there next to La Ola, and I didn't know much about you.
Yeah, right.
You didn't know much about me, so now we know we're neighbors, we're friends, and so let's hang out.
Absolutely.
I got a boat.
There we go.
Here we go. We're going on the boat.
Have a good day.
Hey, you too.
Thanks for tuning into the Fort Myers Beach Good Neighbor podcast. No shade, just sunshine, drama-free, positive vibes only. If you loved what you heard, share it with a friend and keep the good vibes going. Until next time, remember to Cabo until you wabo and keep being a good neighbor. Also, to nominate your favorite neighbors, local legends, heroes, or local businesses to be on the show, go to FMBGoodNeighbor.com. That's FMBGoodNeighbor.com, or call 239-427-4100. We want to send out some island love to State Insurance USA, Snug Harbor, Nervous Nellies, and the Alex King Group. They are the good neighbors and businesses that allow us to share the soul of our community with every listener. Here's to celebrating all that makes Fort Myers Beach the slice of paradise